hello there. Yes, well, I think I've earned my weekend. Perhaps in a way that most estate agents, or indeed right-wing commentators, probably haven't. Let's face it. Anyway, yeah. Yesterday I was left slightly reeling by notions of the superiority of certain people's arguments, and then the minor flaws there might be with some of them. And I've just got, I don't know, just a couple of, I think, classic sort of ones today. Darren Grimes yesterday managed to actually write a great deal, which is astounding to see somebody that's actually put some effort into typing on his phone, presumably. Anyway, he posted up this, okay? It's absolutely mind-boggling, the narrative that's being peddled on our streets about Israel. Peddled on our streets. It's a reference to people protesting, I think. There's this portrayal of Israel as some sort of Goliath, an almighty oppressor, when in reality Israel is more akin to the David in the grand scheme of things. Yes, biblical reference, cool, because we know Darren is definitely a Christian, yeah. Picture this, Israel superimposed on Great Britain. It's minuscule, almost like finding a needle in a haystack. Yes, indeed. Now, what I want you to do here is see if you can picture Israel on this picture. I know it's very hard to see, but if you squint, yes, it's the blue thing, the big blue thing about, you know, the size of Scotland there in the middle. And it's odd that, okay, so, you know, Israel is tiny, well, maybe not, okay, and it says at the bottom, the area of Israel includes the Golan Heights and Jerusalem. Oh, okay then. But the simple question I have for Darren, which I imagine that no one in the world is ever going to ask him, is why is Israel like two different colours, Darren? If you can explain that one to us, because you see Britain's all in one colour. There, you haven't included Southern Ireland, obviously, because it's not part of Britain. But Israel is in two colours. So I'm just wondering if Darren could explain that one to me about minuscule David. Israel might be handy. Yes, indeed. And yesterday, I don't know, I reread this over and over again. Fraser Nelson in commentator, spectator, leader, all that stuff, in the Telegraph, and I don't know, it really set me off thinking about the way that you can hold two very contradictory ideas in your head at the very same time. Yeah, there is a word for that. But at the same time, not be aware of it. Yeah, there is definitely that word for it. Anyway, yes, this one, right? The trial of Catherine Bersingly is a battle for the future of Britain. There's a vital principle at stake in this case, whether rights culture is allowed to trump social cohesion. Yeah, you see, his argument here is that we need to act collectively for the greater good. And I was thinking to myself, well, do you know what? That doesn't really remind me of the sorts of things that Fraser Nelson tends to champion. So I thought we'd look back, chortle, at his Twitter feed, just some of the stuff he's been posting up just this year, because we're not far in. So just a few days ago, on the 18th, we end up with him praising the Argentinian president, who, Milei went to Davos to dismantle its groupthink, says Kate Andrews, and it was a speech to remember. Yes, indeed, groupthink, that's an awful thing, isn't it? You know, when we all agree, on something, it's bad because we don't want groupthink. Good, I've got that. So, collective. Hang on, let me get my head around this. Okay, right, so it was good, right, that this guy thinks that any form of collective action is akin to socialism or communism and therefore bad. Fraser agrees with him, but in the case of a particular school in London, that doesn't apply. I think I've got that now. This is good. I'm sure we can't find any more of these examples. Well, yeah, apart from the next one, of course, where he's saying, this one, what's this, from the 8th of January? For ages, DWP forecasts showed scandalous surge in welfare have gone unreported as they took a format of a technical note. Great to see the Times splash on this hugely important story today. Worse than a waste of money, it's a waste of lives. Yes, you see, because Sunak is going to cut welfare spending in order to get tax cuts, because after all, you know, that's what it's all about, isn't it? We're all in the boat together, and we need to help some of the people at the top, of course, who were the important people, the taxpayers, rather than the people at the bottom who are the pay tax. But it's important to have that collective notion for the collective good, rather than, you know, just giving in tiny minority, I think. Maybe. I don't know. If any of you can actually manage to explain to me why it is that a particular group of British people need to act in the greater good and basically ignore their identity, whereas other particular groups of people don't need to do that, and they're kind of rugged libertarian outsiders really taking on and shoving it to the man. I'd be interested to know, because I'm not entirely sure. Which side of that fence do I sit on? Because I seem to fit on the latter rather than the former, although I am arguing for the former. It's tricky, isn't it? Anyway, do have a lovely Saturday. I've got lots to do, and I'm going to do it. And they can't stop me. Not yet, anyway. They'll try, though. They try. It's coming. Those laws are coming. You